Alright guys, so real quick before this video starts, I want to go ahead and give a quick, give some credit to Fresh Rambo because he made this video before me, and this video is pretty similar to what he made, so I want to give credit to Fresh Rambo specifically. I forgot to say it in the video, so here I am saying it now. So yeah, credits to Fresh Rambo for this video idea. So Drawing Bar has a lot of cars that we love, but there's still many that we don't have in the game yet. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a bunch of cars that we need in Drawing Bar in 2025, and let me go ahead and mention that these are cars that the brand, like where the brands are already licensed. So these are already licensed brands, so it's nothing like Ford or anything like that, so just FYI. Also, by the way, for anyone wondering, I do feel a lot better now. My throat is actually letting me speak now. As you guys can probably hear, I have not coughed yet at all, so, and I don't even feel like I'm needing to cough, so my throat's definitely better now. So just for anyone wondering, and for anyone else who's curious or, you know, confused or anything like that, I've been sick for like the past couple weeks, so that's why, and I've had like a really bad throat. If you haven't, and go watch my last video if you want to know what I'm talking about. But yeah, anyways, sorry for wasting much of time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with some Koenigsegg. So we're going to talk about the Koenigsegg CC850, the Koenigsegg Agera R, and the Koenigsegg 1-1. These are three Koenigsegg's that people are really wanting. They're really popular, really iconic Koenigsegg's that I think we really need in the game. The CC850 is like a really newer model, or it's the newest model that people actually seem to care about, I guess. But I guess people care about Koenigsegg either way. So the Agera R again is just another really popular model. It's a really iconic model, and of course, as people know, it was in the Need for Speed movies, so it makes it even more iconic and more you know, well known, more loved, and everything like that. And the 1-1 is just like it's like one of the more iconic Ageras. Even though it's not really an Agera, but it looks like almost every single freaking Koenigsegg that was ever made. But you get the point. I really think we should have these Koenigsegg's in the game. Now moving on to a Nissan. So the Nissan Skyline R34. So this is another one that we really need. We have the R35. We actually have two R35s actually. We have two R35s and a R33 slash the Nismo 400R, whichever you want to consider it as. We already have we have three GTRs in the game now, and I really see us like needing a R34. I mean, that's literally the most iconic GTR, I would argue. So I would think it would really make sense for us to have this in the game. So yeah, I mean, why? I mean, literally, what kind of excuse can you come up with to say to give me, like, what kind of excuse would you give for this car not to be in the game? Other than little kids, what reason do you have to give? Like, what excuse do you have for us not to have this car? Alrighty, we're gonna talk about a couple McLarens now. These are from the GTR series, and I think you may be able to. Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about the McLaren P1 GTR and the McLaren Senna GTR. Now, I was a little bit tempted to put the Senna GTR on this list just because I think it's actually confirmed to be coming this weekend. So literally, I literally think the day after this video comes out, which is going to be today, so literally tomorrow, I literally think the cars that are going to be coming, at least from speculation from car to car. Yeah, I mean, I was a little tempted to put it on this list, but the P1 GTR and the Senna GTR, I think is two cars that we both really need. The P1 GTR was a really loved car in the game, and it was a track beast. It was really iconic in the game as well, really known. And the Senna GTR was known to be like a super rare vehicle that not a lot of people had, and it was a sick car as well. So that's another reason. So the P1 GTR and the Senna GTR, I think would definitely be two cars that we really need, and I think the Senna GTR would be coming. It's probably going to be coming tomorrow, so keep an eye on that. All right, next up is a Lotus. So a Lotus Evora. Now this is another really iconic car. We have the Esprit, which is one of the it's one of the older ones, but it's also it's an iconic old car. It's iconic. It's known for being old. Like it's known for being an older car. Like if you played like older games, then you would be aware of this 100%. So I'm talking about, like, if you play Gran Turismo 5, for example, then you would actually have, you would have no problem with knowing what this car is, if that makes sense. That's kind of the same thing with the Evora. So with the Evora is just definitely a car that it's like the Esprit V8, which we have in the game. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. I mean, see right here, this thing right here, the Lotus Esprit Turbo. I mean, okay, it doesn't say V8, but it's this car right here. I mean, this car is kind of like the Evora. So I don't really see a reason why we should not have this car in the game. So come on, please add it to the game. And plus, it's a super sick car as well. Now, this really isn't a car, it's a truck, but it's still something we should get. So since we already have SUVs in the game, I don't see why we can't have trucks, since SUVs are kind of trucks, just with a extra body part. I'm gonna literally just cut off the third window and you have a truck. But you get the point. So what truck am I talking about? I'm talking about a very, very simple Chevy Silverado. And really, it doesn't matter what the year is. I just think it would be nice to have a Chevy Silverado in the game. I mean, we have SUVs, so I don't see the reason why we can't have a truck. And Chevy is of course licensed now, so I don't see what the problem would be with getting a truck in the game. I mean, unless people really just don't want a truck, which I guess will make sense because it's about cars, you want to go fast, so people may not really care about a truck. But why not add a truck, you know? I mean, a licensed truck. I mean, plus this would be the first licensed truck in the game as well, if we're not counting SUVs. So really, I'm just waiting for the day for them to license a truck finally. So I think it would be really, really interesting to see in the game. And yeah, now sticking with Chevy, we're going to talk about a Camaro. Now I think you guys already know what's coming up. If you are a Camaro fan, you probably know what I'm about to say. So let me just go ahead and say it. I'm talking about the Camaro the Camaro ZL1 1LE. Yes, the actual ZL1 that people want. We do have the ZL1, and so we do have the ZL1. So let me see if I can find it really quick. So we have the ZL1 right here, as you guys can see, but this is not the 1LE. Like, this is not the straight up. This is not the ZL1 package. Well, okay, okay. This is the ZL1, but it's not the 1LE package. So I'll go and put a picture. Obviously I'll have a picture up already, but yeah, you'll see the difference between this is the ZL1. This is a 2020. This is a 2023 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. What we don't have in the game is a Camaro ZL1 1LE package. I've already talked about this many freaking times, so I'm not gonna go over it again, but you guys already know the 1LE is definitely a car we need in the game. It's just a car that everyone wants as well. Now we're gonna kind of stay on the topic of Camaro. We're going to talk about the Hennessey Exorcist. So this is a fully tuned Camaro ZL1 1LE, or maybe it's just a tuned Camaro with its own package that looks like a 1LE, but I don't freaking know. But the Hennessey Exorcist, so I think this would be a sick car to have. I don't see what the problem would be. I mean, we have Hennessey licensed in the game, and we have Camaro licensed in the game. Like, yeah, like specifically the Camaro. We have Chevy, and we have Camaro. We have the Camaro. We actually have two Camaros, and no, yeah, two Camaros, right? No, we have three Camaros. We have Chevy, three Camaros, and we have Hennessey license. So I don't see why we should. I don't see what problem there would be for this car to be in the game. So I would be really, really happy and really, really excited to see this in the game. So I don't see what the problem is. So it'll be super cool to see this in the game. All right, now I know this probably should have been something I said earlier, but it's lower down on the list just because it's not in order. I just thought of this and put it on my list, and then I'm just speaking to you guys. But this car, I know you guys are waiting for me to say this car. So if you guys know, we have the Porsche 918 Spider. Of course, we have two of them now, and yeah, so now I think I know what you guys are going to say. Like, if you weren't sure before, you're probably aware now. I'm talking about the Porsche Carrera GT. Now, this was already in the game, as you guys know. If you guys have been playing Driving Power for a minute now, like maybe a few months, then you guys will be aware that there was a Carrera GT in the game before they got removed. And we have not gotten it yet. And we desperately, I mean, we needed this back in 2024, so we need this now, dude. There's no reason for us to not have a Carrera GT. It's literally one of the most, if not the most iconic Porsche that they ever made, and we don't have it in the game. So I don't see why we do not have this in the game. I don't know why we didn't have this for the very first Porsche update. So literally, we need this as soon as possible, and we need it now. We needed it in 2024, so get it in the game as soon as freaking possible. Like, I'm not saying this just because like I'm a Porsche Carrera GT fanboy or anything like that. Like, I'm not, like, I love the 918 Spider, and the Porsche Carrera GT is also, it's cool. I like it too. And like, I'm not a huge fan. I'm saying this because we literally need it. There's no reason to not have a freaking Carrera GT. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get onto the honorable mentions. There's 3 cars on the honorable mentions. So let's go ahead and talk about the 2025 Nissan GTR Nismo, the McLaren W1, and the Koenigsegg Jesko Hydra. So why are these 3 cars on my honorable mention? So the Nismo, the reason why it's on there is because we already have 2 GTRs. We already have 2 like R35 in the game, so I don't see why we need another one. But I would think it has more of a chance of being like higher on the list because it's a new car. Kinda like it's a brand new car from Nissan, and it's like it's the newest that people care about, I guess you could say. So, I guess, like, I mean, that's why I would put it on the list, but I kind of just want to put an honorable mention just because we already have 2 GTRs, we already have 2 R35s, and we have 3 GTRs, like, in total. So we have the R33, and we have 2 GTRs. So I just don't really see the need that, like, we need another one. So yeah, and I don't think there's much hype around it than the McLaren W1. I don't think there's much hype around that compared to the McLaren W1. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would still be cool to have it in the game, but I'm kind of going from like like the community's perspective, I guess I could say, or I'm attempting to. I know when I say that I get slammed for it, so I say it rarely. But speaking of the McLaren W1, the reason why the W1 is on an honorable mention is because I talk about this thing way too freaking much, and there's no reason for me to put in like 4 different videos. So it would be on this list, but just because I talk about it way too freaking much, and so does everyone else, I just need to put this on honorable mention just so I can have it not on my list, like, completely. But it's definitely a car that we need in the game. It's just on honorable mentions because I need to stop mentioning it. And now the Koenigsegg Yes Go Hydra. The reason why this is on honorable mentions is because we would need this in the game, but it's going to be licensed, which means it's not going to be as rare as it used to, or more like really cared about, I guess you could say. So that's why. So like, if this came to the game now as a licensed vehicle, no one's going to really care about this thing too much. They're not going to care about it as much as they did before, because it's licensed. It's not as rare. It's not as rare now. So unfortunately, that's why it's on the honorable mentions, just because it wouldn't be as cared about as it would now. Like, it would still be super sick because it's a one-off car in real life, and it's a customer vehicle in real life. So I mean, obviously it'd be really, really cool, and plus it looks super cool, so why not have it, obviously. But it's like, I mean, would we want to see a rare car get brought back? I mean, that's kind of the idea I'm having here. That's kind of like what I'm trying to say. But all right, since we're done with honorable mentions, let's go talk about the last cars. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the GMA T33. We already have the two T50s. We have, hang on, actually, let me see if I can get it up really quick. So we have the Gordon Murray T50, we have the GMA T50, and we have the T50s, the T50S Niki Lauda. Yeah, the GMA T33, I think, will be another car. I mean, we kind of need that. I mean, that's kind of like the only other car GMA has ever produced. So I don't see a reason why we shouldn't have it. So like, other than the T50s that we have, the T33 would definitely be another nice addition that we could get into the game. And yeah, so I'm kind of expecting it to be in the game, so that's kind of like another car we definitely need. And I think that's going to be pretty much it. So comment down below what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys think these cars should come to the game? Is there any that you don't think should come to the game? Do you think they should just stay out of the game entirely? They don't have a reason being here or anything like that? What cars do you guys think will come to the game? And or like, what cars do you think we need in the game is what I was trying to say. And yeah, it's going to be pretty much it. If you guys find this video enjoyable or anything like that, then leave a like. Sub my channel, follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord server, join my Roblox group, also be linked in the description. Have a good day, everyone, and peace.